Greetings everyone. Welcome to Toy Time with Zachmus Prime. I am your host, Zachmus Prime. This review today is brought to you by titanonetoys. titanonetoys. Hit them up on Facebook. Seriously, see what they got in stock. Buy something. It's fantastic. Today I'm going to be reviewing a third-party figure. Ooh. Alright, just gotta beat the shit out of my camera a little bit. Today we will be reviewing the Toyworld Spanner. There he is, Spanner. Not Springer, Spanner. And this is their take on, this is kind of a, oh gosh, what was that art style? Studio Ox, that's who it was. Studio Ox did a lot of the original concept art and whatnot for Transformers. If you remember the G1 Transformers, like a lot of the box art was done by Studio Ox. And then the animation was done by Marvel. Come on, headlights. So here's Spanner. He is not Springer. And he, first thing you'll notice about him is that he's hefty. He feels heavy. He's got big pieces of die cast right here that are going to form the front of his legs, and he's got a big piece of die cast right here in the front that forms his chest. And like it adds up, makes quite a bit of weight. But he, here's his car mode. He looks pretty decent. He's, you know, big and blocky. I don't know if that's exactly your forte, but, you know, he's big and blocky. And, I don't know. The only thing that really bugs me about this is that, he's got these tiny tires. And it just looks kind of silly having a big car with tiny tires, like... These are really small. He rolls fairly well, though. He rolls fairly well, which is more than I can say about some of Toyworld's other recent offerings. Excuse me. There he is from the bottom. Like, he doesn't even look like a robot from the bottom either. Like, this mode's pretty good. I like it. He's got, you know, ridiculous rocket engines there. You know. He's got an opening cockpit here. Cool. No way you can get anything in there. Like, not even the little Micronauts guys will fit in there, probably. And, yeah, he's got... Like, you can kind of fit guns on him. That kind of works. And he does come with this sword thing, but his sword doesn't really. I mean, like, no, that doesn't even. No, maybe it does. No, not really. Not really. It doesn't really want to plug into there. I was thinking you could like stick it in there and just like use it as a dowsing rod. It could just like this way to water, but no. Anyhow. So let's get all that out of the way. Let's get down to transformation. Of course, Springer turns into three things because he's a triple changer. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to flip up the wheels. We're going to take, and this just comes straight out like that. Donk. And we are going to tab them in. There's a tab here, tab here, tab here. Tab these into each other. There's also a tab up on this tail. Tab those into each other. Flip these around. And he's all done. I'm just kidding. But we're getting there. Go to the underside. We're going to flip this up real quick just so we can get this blocks out a little bit easier. Yeah, let's flip these up. That'll make things easier. That'll make things really easier. I mean, if we're looking at easy on a scale of like 1 to 10, like this makes it like a 6 at least. Alrighty. So now that we've got those out, we're going to flip these green panels in. And this is going to come around. Before they were tabbed into, there's a little tab in here. A little slot here. That kind of aligned it up. But now there's going to be a slot here and a tab here. And that's going to align it up the other way. Yes. Stick that in the right place. Come on. Yeah. Why you don't want to go? Jeez. Alright, it went. Just had to like yell at it. That makes things work. And then this whole section is going to slide back on that little joint there, and then it's going to come about on that little double hinge there. And then a little just tab in there. So same with this side, and slide it back, and then bring it about on this little double hinge. That tab is going to go into a little slot in there. And that's yeah. He's got a little part here on the front that'll slide out. He's got little things here that will point out. And last but not least, take his sword, open it up. This connection is like ridiculously tight, but once you get it in there, it's in there. Fairly low friction on that little spinning part too. Like, I mean, like I feel like it's got to have bearings in there or something to get that good of a rotation. So here he is in helicopter mode. Just as he was a blocky vehicle, a blocky car, I think he makes a pretty blocky helicopter, which is that's Springer in a nutshell. His guns will fit up here. I think that they fit a bit better in helicopter mode than they did in the alt mode, in the car mode. His cockpit still opens, but not while that's turning. And he's got a big hollow space underneath. Wonder if there's something cool you could do with that. I don't know. But yeah, if you wanted to pull out his tires, he could still like kind of sit on his wheels. But he's supposed to be flying now. Flying. Whoosh. I mean, whoosh. A couple other little details. He's got like a little spinning turbine here, and yeah, that's about it. You can still pull these things out, but I think these are supposed to be like headlights for the car mode, so I don't know if they go out in this mode. But yeah, that's a helicopter mode. Oh, jeez. It gets in there pretty damn tight. So let's get his weapons off. Get him transformed up into robot mode. For starters, we're going to mess around with his arms. I'm gonna open this up, untab that, fold this in, and then we're gonna take this whole section here, and we're gonna scooch that up. And we're going to untab this, scooch that up. Now we're going to take this panel here, this big bright neon green one. I'm going to flip that out. That'll allow us to start to do his head. This chest panel, the cockpit plugs into a slot on top of this. In this, you've got the die-cast yellow piece here, and then you have a little plastic yellow piece here. Tabs into a spot on the plastic yellow piece. We're going to untab that. Untab it, I say. There we go. And that allows us to pull out this chest. See, it's on these little arms here. It's a little double hinge thing. And so now we can open this and get everything pulled around. Open these up slightly. Looks like they want to plug into connections. So these panels right here, tabs, bring that up just a bit. They're going to fit into slots down here, like so. And then these are going to plug in, slot, tab. Oh. Maybe if we get this plugged in properly. Jeez. Ow! It bit me. It's a hazard I wasn't expecting to encounter today. Alright. Now we're going to take and pull out this little panel here. Come on. Come on. Let me use my other tool. There we go. Hook that into there and pull it out. So we're going to fold down this head. You'll notice that there's this little hollow space. You probably won't notice because the light's wrong. There's a little hollow space underneath his neck. This tab is going to just like slot into there. Doink. If I can get it lined up right. There we go. Alright. Back here, we're going to untab. There's two tabs underneath there. We're going to untab that and then slide this up. Like so. We're going to pull these out, untab the tail parts apart, pull these out, and then we're starting to look like legs here. There's a kneecap section here that's going to come out. We're going to straighten out the leg. So for this side, again, kneecap section, straighten the leg, and then this, we're going to fold this, fold there, unfold that, bring it around to the back. We're going to turn and bend that right there. And then you've got this little tab here. It's going to go into this little slot here. And then that's a leg. That is totally a leg. So we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Bend, 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 fold, tab. And then just park this down there. Oh, I've got them parked opposite. There we go. Put his crotch in the right place. Alright, let's go back to the arms. We're going to bring these up. This part is going to slide forwards, or rotate forwards like that. And then this part here is going to slide in and close up like so. And then you open up this panel here, flip out the fist, close it back up. Same with the other arm. open, move down, fold this out, slide that up, plug that in, rotate, open, fist. Yeah. And there we have Springer in his, Spanner in his robot mode. That's weird. That's really weird. I'll be dipped in chili sauce. I think they misassembled my Springer. Look at that. I don't know why I didn't notice this before. Huh. So, if you look at this arm here, he's got a joint here and a joint here that are both below this bicep swivel, and so he's basically got like a double jointed elbow, right? But if you look at this joint here, there's the joint, and there's the elbow. See how the pin's on the back of that, but it's on the front of this? I stuck that in backwards, which will give him only a 90-degree bend on that one. So, yeah. I'm looking at this, looks like there's just 2 screws here. This should be a fairly simple do-it-yourself fix, which I will probably end up doing myself. I just noticed this, like literally just now. I've transformed him a couple times and played with him for a bit, and I just noticed that they've got one of his elbows on backwards. That's hilarious. Which goes to show that QC is a thing even for third parties. But yeah, so there is Spanner, and he's really nice. He's heavy. He looks good from the front and the back. Little bit of a, I mean, this is the Toyworld version, which means it's based off of the Studio Ox design, which means that it's not necessarily animation accurate. But it's gonna be like a Studio Ox accurate. Also, there's this little feature here. And I don't know where this gets used, because when it's in the car mode, you've got these flaps, these helicopter flaps, that point up over, like, they fit like right over this. So it shouldn't, so I don't think it get used there. In the helicopter mode, I guess they just like face backwards, and I guess maybe they're backwards facing rockets, but I always thought it was weird that they would have rockets that face backwards. And then in the robot mode, they're on the inside of his leg, so he can like shoot himself in the other leg. Like seriously, his legs can fight each other over which one is the better leg. I don't know. Which one is the better leg? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. So he is molded in like green here, and then a neon green here, and then gray, and a different sort of gray, and yellow. And he looks pretty good. I think he looks pretty good. He's maybe not gonna fit the if you're going for a movie style aesthetic, he's maybe not gonna fit in that well. And I think the biggest difference is going to be the way these things are handled. I think that in the animation, they're yellow on the front, and they kind of like go around the sides instead of over the top. And so I think that there's going to be some issue about the way they're handled there. But you know, it's going to come down to personal opinion. Toyworld has come out with a number of Studio Ox designed figures. Most prominent being, of course, their Toyworld Constructor. Most notorious being their I don't know, their Optimus Prime. But yeah. So he's got guns. We've seen the guns before. Guns are simply molded, two pieces of plastic stuck together, a couple of paint apps on either side. And yeah, they just plug into his fists like so. I don't know that he had. I'm pretty certain the toy came with only one gun. So I think I used to have the toy when I was a kid. And I think it came with just the one gun and the sword. And I don't know that in the show he ever really was dual wielding. But yeah, they've got two guns. I think the two guns is really more specifically for so you can have it look balanced when it's in helicopter mode. He also comes with a sword. Sword plugs into his hand. And it looks, you know, sufficiently sword-like. I think it looks good. I like it. I unfortunately don't have the Open and Play Big Spring or the Unique Toys Allen to compare this with, though I do have a friend who's got the Big Spring, and I do have a friend who has Allen, and if you guys want me to, I can do a 3 side-by-side comparison of all 3 of them. Actually, that would be really fun. But I'm not going to do it unless you guys want it to, because otherwise I'd just be wasting time. So if you guys want it, leave me a comment. If not, don't even worry about it. In terms of posability, his head is on a double swivel, so it will look up and down like that. It will look all around like the poltergeist. His arm squeaks like so. It will move out all the way. Gosh, it doesn't even bash his head too much. Even though, like, you get like this, and he'd be like, I can't see anything. By the way, while it was in there, I don't know if you noticed, but the light piping on his eyes actually works fairly decently. Like, sometimes, so Toyworld is just infatuated with this light piping thing, and sometimes it works really well, and sometimes it doesn't. With some of their other figures, it doesn't work very well at all. And some of their figures, it works great. In addition to his shoulder going out here, it will also go out all the way at this joint here. He's got an upper bicep swivel. Jeez. A double jointed elbow on this arm. Just a single joint on this arm. Oh, that's hilarious. His wrist is on a swivel. His fingers, so his thumb is on a ball joint, and then he's got 2 fingers here and 2 fingers here. And so, like, you're not going to be doing much poking, but maybe you can like do like a come hither. Come hither. Ooh. Yeah. Never mind. He does have a waist joint. It's a really good waist joint with a lot of range on it. He's got little skirt armors here. If you pull it up, his leg will go all the way forward, all the way back. He has a single joint in the knee, so he's got a joint right here. He also has a joint right here that's part of the transformation. While you're bending it around, it may click back and forth. That's normal. He's got about 90 degrees. There's a little tab. A little tab on the back of his leg. Makes it want to not really go the full 90 degrees, but we'll get like 85 of it, you know. His toe is on a ball joint, and so it like has a good range of motion, tiltage and like frontwards and backwards and like sideways and like turning around like this. The rest of him, that's just all immobile there. So you put it down and his toes will fit up. But it works. Oh, by the way, he's got a rotation up here at the hip, and he has a rotation here at the knee. So he can like move his thigh independently of the rest of his leg, because why not? And yeah, in terms of accessories, he comes with 2 guns and a sword. He also comes with an alternate face. It's kind of a like shocked surprise kind of looking face. Oh wait, it's backwards. Yeah, it's kind of a snarly looking face, like. And let's get that installed real quick. I mean, why not? Let me bring up my camera so that it's more like face to face with him. His face is kind of getting swallowed up in the light, so tip his head back, bring a thing here. Let's just pry this out. Oh! I was trying to be gentle, but it just shot out there like nobody's business. Plug in the new one. And yeah, now he's snarling. Yeah. It's pretty good. I mean, granted, those are supposed to be his teeth in there, and that's supposed to be his face. And ostensibly, teeth are white, and his face is white. So, like, I get why it's all the same color, but at the same time, it just kind of gets lost in there a bit. I don't know. Maybe like more of a like yelling open mouth, and then maybe painted the inside of the mouth dark would have been good, but yeah. It is what it is, and I think that it looks pretty good. And I'm not sure what else I can say about this figure. It is a really good figure. Looks good from the front, looks good from the back, looks good in all of his modes. You couldn't... Seriously, camera, you couldn't have given me like another like 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay, here we go. Looks good in all of his modes. Car mode, less of all, but still a really good mode. I recommend it. This is a recommended figure. There it is. Toyworld Spanner. Everybody be awesome and have a great day. See ya.